Welcome to Jared Scott Outdoors, your source in the field for local outdoor news. This week on Jared Scott Outdoors, we're out in the mountains. We're out here at about 7,600 feet in the beautiful pine-covered mountains. However, if you look down, there's holes all over the place. It looks like people have been digging all over, and that's because they have, and we are here to join them. We've got a couple shovels, we've got a lot of tools. I've got my wife, we've got Abby and Cade, and we're actually looking for crystals. We're up in Montana. This is something I've never done, so we're kind of going to be amateur rock hounds today. And we're just going to dig in the dirt and we're going to look for some crystals. Apparently in this location, this is called Crystal Park. And again, it's in Montana. It's about a 2.5 hour drive. So it's quite a little haul to get here to dig in the dirt. So the question is, are we going to have fun? Is this going to be worth it? I don't know, because there was a whole lot of "are we there yet" by the time we got here. So we're gonna get digging. We're gonna show you all about this and hopefully have a good time. As mentioned, Crystal Park is in Montana, west of Dillon, so close enough that I feel it's a good spot to explore. After crossing the Continental Divide on I-15 and continuing on past Lima, you'll eventually drive past Clark Canyon Reservoir, a fishery with some pretty impressive trout. Keep on going until you get to exit 59, which is also the exit for the Bannock State Park, an old ghost town area. Take the exit and head west towards Elkhorn Hot Springs or the town of Polaris. There are plenty of signs for Elkhorn Hot Springs and the town of Polaris, so just follow them and turn north when you see the sign for Polaris. You may or may not get cell service, so you'll want to know your route before you get too far. Head on past Polaris and on into the mountains. It actually turns into quite a pretty drive up through the pine-covered pass. When you see the sign for Elkhorn Hot Springs, keep going. You're almost there. Just keep an eye out on the left side of the road and you won't miss it. Now, if you go on a summer weekend like we did, don't be surprised when the two parking lots are full. It made me a little nervous, but we still found plenty of room to dig for crystals, as you'll soon see. The cost is only $5 per vehicle, and you'll just fill out the form and drop the cash in an envelope like you do in so many other places. Of course, there are a few rules you'll want to know about. The one they seem to focus on the most is not digging within 5 feet of a tree. This, you'll find, is a rule often ignored. There's also a very basic map of the immediate area and the locations that are available for digging, and then quite a bit of information on how the Crystal Park was formed. Basically, the gist I got is that the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate have been colliding way under the Earth's crust. All of the heat and everything combined made conditions right to form crystals. Over millions of years, as the rock has been upheaved to the surface, the rock has also been weathered and broken down into coarse sand, which leaves the crystals free from the rock and rather easy to find when sifting through the soil. These quartz crystals come in many colors, although clear is the most common. They can also be white, gray, or purple, with some having hints of red, yellow, and orange. The gray crystals are known as smoky, and the purple is amethyst. You'll find most crystals by themselves, but many will be joined with other crystals, and at least in our experience, most of the bigger ones were broken. There are bathrooms near the parking as well as water, but some people have commented online that the water wasn't on when they'd gone, so it might be smart to bring some water with you just in case. The water is very handy to wash off the crystals so you know what you've got. There are trails crisscrossing the area, and some are even paved. We found you don't have to go too far to get into the crystals, so people of all abilities can probably participate. Even though there were many people digging so close to the parking area, we chose to go a little further and went to the top of the hill and into the trees a little more. It was a hot day, and at least a little shade would be very welcomed. As crowded as the parking area was, we found that there was plenty of room to have all the area you could possibly need all to yourself, and then some. I was hesitant to come on a weekend, but learned very quickly that we still had plenty of space. All right, my first impression as we've hiked up here on the top is how strange this is. You know, you're always taught when you go into the mountains to make sure to be careful and not leave any sign that you're here. And then you come here and it looks like World War III happened here. There's holes everywhere, people digging. You know, they're encouraging you to go ahead and dig and whatnot. So it's just strange. It's interesting to come out and actually be in the forest and be encouraged to dig and make holes and things like that. But there are obviously a lot of families out here, just a lot of people out here. So we don't know how to find the spot. I'm guessing there really is not a spot. You just pick a spot and go. But that's the first thing we're doing, is just trying to find a spot that looks good to us, and we'll start digging.
Let's do it right there.
Right where? Right there? Or do you want to walk over a little into the trees a little, or off of the trail? Just go this way?
Sure. I say we go right here.
It's where it just looks like sand.
Right here. Looks great. Right here.
All right, we can find lots of spots and dig down.
Okay. Wait, how much shovels?
All right, so we got here. This is it. Jared let his outdoor man vibes guide him to this spot that we're going to call home for the next who knows how long, and we'll see what happens.
Earlier, my family and I had just found the spot we were going to dig in search of quartz crystals here at Crystal Park.
Look at that one. Hey!
While the kids and I were trying to figure out where to start, Candace was already picking up crystals that had been exposed by the most recent rainstorms.
But look at it. It's like the pyramid. I have lots of cool things over here.
All right, so I went up and talked with some people that looked like they knew what they were doing, and they had a sifting screen, and we bought some of this just to bring up. So I'm just jimmy rigging it and putting it over a couple logs, but the idea is move as much dirt as you can, apparently, and you'll find stuff. Candace is already finding a ton just with her fingers just looking on the ground. But either way, we've got this set up, and we're just going to dig this. It's just sand. It's with some rocks in it, which is strange, but apparently you just put the sand on and sift through, and we're going to see what we find. But this is the first thing. And there's Candace still finding more.
It's like purple. Look at this cool one.
Yeah, I think that one will be cool.
Here, look how cool that one
And
is.
that's in a matter of like a couple minutes.
Look at that one.
All right, so I'm going to steal a shovel full from where Candace has been digging.
I was back where your feet are.
And then we're going to bring it over. And we're going to check this out here. There's a small one. Oh, there you go. That's a little bit bigger one.
Dad, right there.
Yeah, there's another one. So we brought a bucket of water we can kind of rinse stuff into. I was actually very surprised at how many crystals, although small, there were as we started with just the first little bit of dirt.
Look how clear.
Well, get some water and we'll kind of just bring the bucket of water over here. After going through that first shovelful of dirt and rinsing off what we'd saved, let's see how we did. So in just the first shovelful, those are all different colored crystals and different qualities, obviously. There's some that are much nicer than others. Nothing huge yet, but that's cool. So he's gonna, that's
That
why.
has like the diamond on top, or like the pyramid or whatever.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So you just kind of gotta try to look through the dirt and see if they're just dirty.
Like that?
So see, lots of these are them. They're just covered in dirt. But the good ones I think will kind of show up a little better. We decided to let Candace have her own spot, and so we started getting our dirt from the bottom of another depression. I found it interesting that there seemed to be some pockets of dirt that held more crystals than others, but there really didn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it, so we couldn't even try to guess where to dig or where to avoid.
I think Mom's winning this game.
Dad, look.
Yep. Ooh, dude, it's broken in half.
That'd been cool.
Right down the middle. Put that one in. But they even get bigger than that.
Wait.
Right there's one you saw.
Right here. Here's this one I saw.
So up until this point, I had only made one screen out of the roll of wire screen that I'd bought, literally on the way up here. I had left the rest of it at the car, not realizing how much we would use it. Now that we knew how important it was, I went back to the car and brought the rest of it up so that we could sift through more dirt. Candace now had her own little screen, Abby had her own screen, and Cade and I shared one. With all of us able to sift through the dirt as quick as we could shake it down and pick out the crystals, our little bucket of crystals really started filling up. Now if I go again, I'll most definitely stretch the wire screen over a frame of 2x4s, as that'll make it much easier to sift through and easier to adjust as the sifted dirt piles up underneath. The logs we made do with worked, but it was still kind of a pain and not nearly as efficient. Of course, just like about any other place during the summer, make sure to bring plenty of drinking water as it can get hot, and bring mosquito repellent. Nothing like annoying mosquitoes biting you all day to make a potentially fun day miserable. A camping chair and shade might not be a bad idea either. That's what they're saying, the more dirt, so it's just really just kind of, I think to get the big ones, you just want to move a bunch.
You see a cool one? He's got pokies, and so does this one.
Are crystals growing on crystals?
There are crystals growing on crystals.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And look at this one.
That's a really cool one. All right, so we definitely found that the screen was the limiting factor here. So I went back down to the car because I just bought a roll of this on the way here. We just went to the hardware store and bought a roll of this. So realizing that was really the ticket, I went back down and got it. We've just stretched it over some logs. Candace has a piece just so we can all be working faster, because that's the ticket. And it's just crazy because it's just dirt, like sand. And you sift through it, and then you have all these different crystals.
I found a cool one. It's kind of a smoky color.
Cade's crystal was actually 2 that were joined at the bottom. So you can definitely just slowly pick away at the dirt with a garden trowel. But we found the best way was probably like we were told. The more dirt you move, the more you'll find. So the quickest way to do that was just getting a shovel full of dirt and dumping it on the screen. Rather than slowly picking away at it, we just shuffled the dirt around and got most of it sifted through, leaving just the rocks and crystals. That's when we would actually start picking through the rocks looking for any crystals. As soon as we found the ones we wanted to keep, we quickly got another shovelful and started the process over again. All right, Cade, what do you think so far?
It's fun. And we found a lot of gems, but a lot of dirt.
In reality, we actually didn't move that much dirt, which is probably why this area has been being picked through for years, yet there's still plenty of crystals to be found for more years to come.
That's fun. It's fun. We're finding some cool things.
By now we had found lots of crystals. Most of them were clear, but we found lots of smoky ones and a few amethyst or purple ones. But really, none of the big ones we found were intact, and so that's what we were trying to find was big crystals. Well, it's actually pretty fun. We found some neat rocks so far. Nothing huge, nothing worth a lot, but some really pretty ones. And the kids, of course, are having fun. We've only got maybe an hour left, but we're hoping to find a big one, a big intact one. So far, it's just been the little ones, but it is cool. With just a little bit of time left, Abby finally found one that was a really nice crystal.
Well, I just found this. I think it's the coolest and prettiest one I found so far.
About at the same time, Candace found a beautiful one.
So we've been looking for big ones, and I finally found a big purple one. So I think I'm going to end on.
That's cool. That's a nice one.
Big Bomb wins. Well, it's pretty fun out here just to kind of find all these cool rocks, and I can't wait to do it again.
Real quickly, let me fast forward to show you just some of what we picked up. I got a handful of the best ones and cleaned them up in a diluted bleach solution and used a toothbrush on a few. As you can see, they clean up rather nicely. Some are better than others, but overall, a fun haul. And we still have a lot more to sort through. As you can see behind us, the sun is setting. I think we're one of the last people on the mountain. As busy as this place was when we got here, it's pretty quiet now. Most people have taken off, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Maybe do a little swimming on the way out. I don't know. We've got a long drive ahead of us. But anyways, Cade here's got quite a pile of rocks here. Abby's got another good chunk of crystals and rocks. A lot of them we don't know what they are. We got to clean them off, and then we're going to check them out. However, there's plenty of them that we know are beautiful crystals of all different colors, as you saw. I think everybody found some really neat ones. I think we've decided Candace found the best one for sure. She did really well with that. But either way, what do you kids think about this?
It was awesome. It was fun.
It was awesome. It was fun. So a long drive, 2.5 hour drive to come out here and dig in the dirt for crystals that aren't worth anything. And they still said it was fun and it was awesome. Cade was even telling me how we need to make this an annual thing. So anyways, we had a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you want to come out here and dig some holes with everybody else, man, come out here and do it, because it is a lot of fun. You kind of get addicted to putting another shovel on and seeing what you can find. We had a good time. Tune in next week at the same time for another episode of Jared Scott Outdoors.